Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome back to Midnight Simplified, and it's Elliot here again. This video is a continuation of the previous video which we did, where we learned how to set up our Compact compiler, and here we're just going to be continuing from where we stopped. This is going to be the last setup video in the series. So now we're going to be learning how to install Node.js and our VS Code extension that allows us to write compact code from our VS Code setup. To do that, let's go over to the official main Node.js website. Click on this download button. If you're running WSL like me, you want to select Linux here instead of Windows. And if you're using Mac OS, you can also select Mac OS here. And once you've selected WSL, for my case, I'm going to select NVM. What NVM does is that it allows us to manage several versions of Node.js on a particular machine. So I'm going to open my terminal to run the command, and then hit on this drop down, select Ubuntu over here, and then I can copy these commands to install Node.js and then paste it in my terminal, hit enter. What this command is going to try to do is going to try to download the Node.js onto my local machine, and then once it's done, I'm going to have to run this command, which is this, to add Node.js to my environmental path variable. So I'm going to I've copied it, I'm going to paste it here, hit enter. Now this has added it to my path variables. What you want to run next is to run node-v to see the version of Node.js you have installed, and then you can see I have 24.11.1 installed, and I can also run npm-v, hit enter to see the version of npm I have installed, and you can see this is the latest version of npm I have installed. Open VS Code, and then what you want to do is click on this icon to download the extension, which I'll be listing below. So you can just search for WSL, and then once you search for WSL, you can see this particular extension over here. You have to install it. Now what this extension does for you is that it allows you to access your WSL environment, which is installed on your Windows machine, from VS Code. Ordinarily, it's not possible. Now, I'm just going to install that, which I've already done. Once you're done, what you want to do next is click on this icon over here. I'm going to show that again. Click on this icon over here, and then select Connect to WSL. Now, once you've done this, you can see here what it's showing now is WSL Ubuntu. That's because that's the distribution of Linux I have installed as my WSL environment. So, and once you're done with that, what next you want to do is to install the VS Code extension that helps you format compact code correctly. Now, in order to do that, I'll be leaving a link to the Midnight documentation that allows us to do that here. And once you click on that link, come over to release notes. Once you are under release notes, look for VS Code extension, and then what you can do is click on this particular v6 package, and then click on it. It's going to download the v6 package onto your local machine. Currently it's downloaded on my Windows machine, so not my WSL environment. So I'm going to clear. So you might want to copy that into your WSL environment. Currently I'm in my home directory for my Ubuntu. So what I can do is go out of it. Sorry, I'm just gonna go out of it, and then ls, and then you can see from here I can access my Windows machine. What I can do is run cd and go into mnt directory, and inside of it I can go into my C drive. I can go into my C drive, and then inside of my C drive I can go into my users directory, and inside of there I can go into this users directory, and lastly I can go into my downloads folder, which is where that particular package will be downloaded to. Hit enter, and I can ls to see what we have inside of that directory. Now that we're inside of it, what you can see this version of the v6 extension I just downloaded, which is this one showing 4 here. We can confirm that as well here. Yeah. So what you want to do is copy it into your WSL environment. Now that we're inside of the directory, I can run cp-r, and which means recursive, and then specify the name of this package which I want to copy. Okay, this is it. This was the one we just downloaded. can copy this and then paste it here. And then I want to specify the path which I want to copy it into. That will be my home directory for my Ubuntu, and then specify here I have a specific directory where I run midnight codes. So I'm just going to go over there. Let's see. Let me list and say, okay, it's called midnight workspace. So I'm going to copy the name of that folder, come back here, paste it, and then hit enter. Now it's going to copy, it has copied it into that directory. So I can come back here and run cd into the midnight workspace directory and run ls. Now you can see it has copied that particular package here. Now once you've copied it, now you want to come back over to VS Code and then click on this extensions button once again, and then click on these three dots. Once you are here, then select install from v6 and then go into that directory where you have the package installed, which is midnight workspace. Now you can see that particular package here. You can click on it and then you can see it's telling me completely installed the extension. Now that's that for the VS Code setup. When you're interacting with any dApp on Midnight, your private data never leaves your machine. Instead, a proof of that data, which is called a zero knowledge proof, is generated and is what is being sent to the blockchain. That is made possible through the help of our proof server. So thanks to our proof server. Now in order to install that, what you want to do is go over to Docker Hub and then search for Midnight Network. Now once you search for Midnight Network, you can see a list of images which Midnight has provided to us, and what you want to click on is particularly this Midnight proof server. So click on it and then you can check whatever versions of the proof server you have installed. You have available on Docker Hub rather. So what you want to do now is copy the name of this image. If you have Docker installed within your WSL environment, like myself, which I'll be leaving a link on how to do that as well in the description of the video, you can just run this command, docker pull, and specify the name of the image. Now that's not all, you also have to specify the version of the image you want to pull over. So I'm going to specify 4.0.0, which is the latest version, and then hit enter. Now it's also possible to specify latest. Let's see what it does. So you can see it's telling us pulling, and then it has pulled the image successfully onto our local machine. Now to see all the images we've pulled to our local machine, I run docker images, hit enter, and then we can see that we have that image here as well. Now to run the image, to run a container from that image, what we can run is docker run -p to specify the port, and we are going to map the default ports to same ports, which is 6300, and then we're going to specify the container and its version. So I'm going to copy this, paste it here, and then what you want to do next is specify -- and then click on this and then specify midnight -proof -server, and then you want to specify the network you want the proof server to run on. So network, and then you specify lastly specify the network, which is testnet, and then hit enter. So what it's going to do is you're going to try to start the proof server for us. Let's give it a minute to see what it does. Now you can see it has successfully started our proof server, and then it's listening at port 6300. So we can confirm that by going to our browser and then running, or you could use call as well if you want to use call. So just run 127.0.0.1:6300, which is the port our proof server is running on. Hit enter, and then once you see this message, it means your proof server is live and currently running. Now thank you for staying up to the end of this video. If you've not liked and subscribed to the channel, ensure to do so. In the next video, we'll be diving straight up into writing smart contract code using Compact.